Today concept is a Numpy and pandas. So first of all, so what is Numpy? What is Numpy? It's a predefined module, or we can say a predefined library. Predefined module or predefined library. What is the use of this Numpy? Normally, in other programming languages, we can easily store and process one-dimensional data, two-dimensional data, two-dimensional data, and three-dimensional, or we can say multi-dimensional data using the concept called arrays in C language, in C++, in Java, in .NET, everywhere. But there is a problem with array. Array is always static. Sir, what is a static? Fixed size. Whatever the language it is, it's a fixed size. Array is nothing but fixed size. But Python is dynamic. Python is dynamic. So there is no concept called fixed in Python. That's why they removed arrays concept from Python. No arrays concept, no arrays concept in Python. If anyone asked, because Python is dynamic and array is a static. Array is a static, but then how can we process? So they introduced as arrays, introduced as third-party library, as a third-party library called Numpy. So remember, arrays and Numpy both are same. But here the thing is what? Exactly what operations we are doing with arrays. Same operations we are doing with Numpy, but here Numpy size is not fixed. You can fix or you can make it vary. So that is the simple one. Sir, how can we install that Numpy module? As we know already, every module, new module, we are installing using that pip, pip install Numpy. Then it will collect what all the resources which are required to install Numpy from the internet connection, and it will be installed automatically. Look at this. Is downloading, installing the collecting package. Just we are asking to install only Numpy and it will install. Once installation has been complete, then we can do all the Numpy operations. All the Numpy operations. I'll explain. Successfully installed. Successfully installed. Now we are writing. How? Just first of all, we need to import that module is a Numpy. Import that module. We are creating, first we know that collections concept. I'm taking one list. Just my list I'm taking. List of elements I'm taking 10, 20, 30 and 40. It is the list. But now I just want to convert that list into array. Numpy dot array concept is there. Array is a method or function. It is belongs to that Numpy module. It is taking that list as an input. List. And it will return that array. We are just collecting into my array. It's a single dimensional array collecting from the list. After that, We are just printing that my array. Same all values will print. Here it is executing 10, 20, 30, 40. We are printing that array. If you want to check which type it is, just type of my array. I'm writing this one. Which type it is? Look at this. It is in Numpy. ND array means n dimensional array. Sir, what is that n dimensional array and how can you create also? We will discuss. Now, directly you can pass values here instead of collecting into another variable directly. Simply like this. Not only print directly, sir, element by element I want to print means using the for loop. For each element in my array, from this array, it will iterate elements one by one, and we are printing that element. When you run, look at this. It will collect element by element and printing. Next one. Sir, what is that ND array? ND array. ND means n dimensional array. It is used to create an empty array. Empty array you can create. So how can we create that empty array? Okay. So we are doing that one. Numpy dot ND array is there. But what you have to specify? What you have to specify? Shape you need to specify. Shape. Sir, suppose if I give only single value. Single value. What is this meaning? Shape is a single value means what? It is one dimensional array with the size is of 5. And if you want to mention data type also you can mention. D type is equal to int. Only integer type I am storing. That you are collecting into array. What is this meaning? One array created using that. This is one dimensional array with the size is 5. And we are storing that integer types into this one. Here, I'm just printing that. I'm just printing that array. I'm just printing that array. Run this. Look at the output. Because we didn't store any values into that one. We didn't store values into that one. 5 zeros we are storing. 5 zeros we are storing. That is. Got it? Now, same one. The size of the array if you want to print. ARR dot size is there. Sir, what is the data type? And nothing but what type of data is allowed? Array dot D type is there. Nothing but if you want to give some information about the array, here is that information. Here is that information. Int 32. By default, it will take that 32. Sir, here it is why it is taking that array. Random values from different places it will take. Now look at this. Because where the memory is allocated, in that memory already some values are there. Like suppose if you run one previous example program, some of the values which are already present in the memory, consider which are present in the memory. Okay. The same memory block is allocated to the new program. The values are be present. Now if you run, the different values will come. Where the memory is allocated, that we cannot guess. Sir, I want to store the values. I want to store the values. Yes, you can. And next one, sir, I want to, suppose I just want to make it this float type, float. Now observe the code. Oh, sorry, we are printing. Now observe this float type. All float values, but random values, exponential values. Some random values it will print. Sir, suppose if I am taking this, other types like object type is there, all will see. Sir, I just want to read the size of the array. Int input enter size of array. Enter size of array. Then here it is n. You can print that size. Of course, whatever you will give, the size is 7. See, the size is 7 will print because array will be created with that size. Sir, I just want to read input. I just want to read input and store. First two-dimensional array also, if you want to create, you can create the two-dimensional array. Normally, I'm taking one nested list. Nested list I'm taking. List inside the list. This is list. Sublist means 10, 20, 30. Next, 40, 50, 60. Next, 70, 80, 90. Then I'm creating numpy dot array of nested list we are passing. Nested list. Now we are collecting that my array. My array. Now look at this. If I print this my array, how the values will print like a two-dimensional format. Look at this. Is printing like a two-dimensional format. Is a first row, is a second row, is a third row. Instead of this, each row, suppose this is best example, you just consider as a matrix, two-dimensional. So from that matrix, each row we are collecting from the matrix, printing that row. When you are executing, look at this. Matrix, first row means what? It will collect. That will store into this one, it will display. Next, second row and is a third row. No, sir. Each element I want to process. Each element. Then again for loop, each element in that row. Then printing that element. Look at this. First, it will take the row. Row means what? This one. Now row repetition using the inner for loop. Each element it will take 10. It will print. Next 20. It will print. Next 30. It will print. Sir, I want to print like matrix format only. We know already patterns. After printing that element, I'm just giving space. And once row is completed, I'll just send the control to next line. Look at this. Each row printing by giving the values, side by side values we are printing, and finally sending the control to the next line. Control to next line. This is, sir. Next one, sir, here directly I'm creating the two-dimensional array from the nested list, sir. I don't want to create from the nested list. I don't want to create from the nested list. I just want to create using ND array, ND, n-dimensional array. I'm giving that shape is 3 by 3, 3 rows and 3 columns. 3 rows and 3 columns. And the data type is as usual integer only. I'm giving integer. Just like empty array, I'm creating empty array. And next, as usual, I'm printing the values what are present. Look at the output. See, is the first one, is a 530, and is the next one. Some random values. What all the values that we don't know. Some random values. You can read and store also, that I'll explain. These are the values printing. No, sir. I want to display the properties of this matrix. Properties. So what are the properties of the matrix? It's very simple. Print. So what is the size? Or first, what is the shape? What is the shape? Simply matrix dot shape. Then it will give same 3 by 3 it will give. 3 by 3 it will give. Next one, print. I just want to give that which data type you are using. What type of data you are storing. Simply matrix dot data. Next one is what is the size? Total how many number of elements you can store? Sir, it's a 3 by 3. So 3 rows and 3 columns is nothing but 3 into 3. 9 elements I can store into 3 by 3. Next, what are the dimensions? Right? Is a one dimensional or two dimensional? Is one dimensional or two dimensional? Sir, it's a two dimensional because it's 3 by 3. Look at this. Shape is 3 by 3. Data type is integer. Total how many elements we can store is a 9 elements we can store. How many dimensions means what? It's a two-dimensional array. It's a two-dimensional array. So that is the way. The next one is, sir, I want to read. First, one dimensional only I'm creating, just array ARR before printing, or sir, size also I will ask. Enter size of the array. Enter size of the array. So we are creating the array with that size is n. With the size is n. Okay. After that, we just ask them enter those many elements into array. Enter n elements into array. Index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Na? So we are repeating the for loop for I in the range of n. If we give n, range means it starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because when n is a 5, it will repeat up to 4. How can you store? Into ARR of I, that element will store. After reading, that array is printing that array. Look at the output of this code. First, this line is executing. Enter the size of array. 6 I am giving. Next, it is asking enter 6 elements. Enter 6 elements it is asking. Loop will repeat exactly 6 times from 0 to 5. First element will store into 0. Next I value increase. Second element will store into 1. Third element will store into 2. Fourth element will store into 3, like this. Finally, whenever you are inserting 5, 9, 4, 8, 6, 7, look at the output. 5, 9, 4, 8, 6, 7 is just arrays concept only. That is called Numpy. Sir, after reading, I just want to find the sum, sir. Direct function is there. Sum of array elements. Direct function is there in read file. I'm just giving 4, 6, 46, 9, 5. Look at the output. Array elements 46, 5, 9, 5, 3. Sum of elements is a 68. Is printing. Any operation you can do. This is just reading the size of the one-dimensional array and reading the elements into that one-dimensional array and storing. Sir, suppose if it is two-dimensional, rows and columns. Okay. Enter row size. We are taking into M. Next, enter column size. Enter column size. Okay. Into N. So M comma N. It is matrix. It is matrix. But now it's very important. So total how many elements? Imagine it's a 3 and 3. 3 by 3 means what? 6 elements. Store M into N elements. M into N elements, rows and columns. So nested for loop is required. Number of rows represented with M. Number of columns represented with N. Then simply we are giving that matrix I and J. Row and column, we are reading the input. Finally, we are printing that matrix is. Directly, you can print that matrix. Look at the output. Based on the shape, 3 by 3. I'm giving elements, 9 elements I'm giving. Look at the output. 5, 7, 4, 6, 8, 2, 1, 9, 3. If it is one-dimensional array, one loop is enough. If it is two-dimensional array, two loops required. Rows and columns. Rows and columns we need to represent. That is. So locations we are giving. Into that 9 locations. When I equal to 0, J 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, because index 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, rows and columns. Clearly, we need to specify 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, like that. Sir, I just want to display the clear message, sir. Okay. Then here it is, you can enter print, right? Enter into, normally I'm writing matrix of ith location and jth location. Ith location and jth location. That is. Now if you run the code, size is for example 2 by 3. Matrix 0, 0. Matrix 0, 1, 0, 2. 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Like this. Locations also if you want to show like this. No sir, I want to show with the square brackets. Okay. You just put it in a square brackets. You just put it in a square brackets. Now it is more clear. Sir, if it is 3 by 3, look at this. Into 0, 0, into 0, 1, into 0, 2. Second row, into 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. This is the matrix. Okay, all the array type operations we can simply do using that Numpy concept. Everyone please install that Numpy module, and what all the programs we discussed, just practice. Today, I'll share this video to everyone.